Hey guys, gonna start with rolling the dice again. Get some angel numbers and look in the books to see what animal wants to come out as well, and maybe some crystals from the crystal book. I'll use the numbers for the page numbers. Yeah. See what we get. 224. 242. We'll do angel number first. 242. Power. You are very capable. Being aware of the power of your thoughts and words is necessary today. Your angels want you to know that your mental state reflects in every relationship, opportunity, and environment you end up in. Be the observer of all your thoughts and self-talk today. And we'll try 224. Power and fundamentals. Secure your life. As you think of what you are building in your life today, your angels guide you to think of something you've taken for granted. The foundational people, places, and opportunities in your life need your attention. Think of something you've overlooked in your life and give it your energy. 422. Power. Foundation. Neglected foundations. Look around at what needs your energy. So the first one that came through, 44. No, 242. 44 is thankful. You are grateful for where you have been. The past is coming up a lot lately, and your angels want you to understand that the lesson here is gratitude. You cannot be where you are today without the help of where you were before. Reflect and journal on the lesson of the past that got you to where you are today. And the first one was power, 242. It's interesting, like the different, if you get angel numbers and slightly different answer with whichever way they come up. So fundamentals is secure your life. As you think of what you are building in your life today, your angels guide you to think of something you've taken for granted. So that's, I guess it's about gratitude, of what got you to where you are today. I've been talking about that for a bit lately, and I think today, like I was going for I was guided to go for a walk, so I was doing my art and everything, and kind of shut away in the shed for half the day, and it's a beautiful sunny day today, and I just get this feeling like I'm fine, and I get lost in my work, and then all of a sudden I start getting tension build up to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'll go. And so I went for this big walk this afternoon, and where I go, I take my dog for the walk in the bush, there is this beautiful big valley. So I start at the top and I walk down the valley and walk back up the other side of the mountain, and like I get lost in the beauty and exploring different tracks and making my own tracks and all that. And like today, they literally, stopped me, like spun me as they do, like, and to, stop and look at the view and look at where I came from. And this was the message I was getting today, like, it's great to keep climbing up the hill and enjoy the beauty as you're going, but also, have a look around and realize how far you've come. And what I'm getting with that is like, you know, we're so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful for my guides and everyone that's come into my life. I'm you know, very aware of the beauty, and I'm grateful for like everything most of the time, but I don't give myself enough credit. And I think this is what they were really getting at today, is like, you know, there was several messages that came through when I, you know, got turned around and made to look. So it's like, stop and smell the roses along the way, obviously. You know, enjoy every part of the journey, because there are beautiful things to experience on every part of that. For example, my journey today, which was down the mountain, in the valley, then up the mountain, like every part of that has its downsides and its absolute beauty along the way. So, you know, it's enjoying the journey, it's stop and enjoying the view, or, you know, being aware and part of the journey as you're going, not just thinking about the end goal of the summit, but allowing yourself to wander and take in the beauty as you're traversing your, you know, your path, or finding your path. But yeah, like they literally kind of stopped me in my tracks today, as I was, it was funny, as I was like, you know, nearly to the top of the other mountain, to just stop and, you know, turn around and take in the beauty of the view. And like, it was kind of like, just remember how far you've come, and be grateful to yourself for pushing through all those thickets. And because I was literally doing that, I like kind of like find my own path. If, you know, if I see some rocks in the middle of the bush, I'll just go, you know, straight through the bush to check out these rocks. So I literally find my own path, you know, in life, and you know, like metaphorically in life, and also everywhere I go. And, you know, I find some beautiful places along the way that just no one ever goes to, because people normally follow the paths that are already there, and I just don't do that. And I find some beautiful places because of that. And you know, that was kind of what they were like telling me today, like, give yourself more credit and really enjoy where you are now and how far you've come, and take in the view. Like, you can enjoy it. Yeah. So, you know, I think that's like, you know, the self-appreciation and self-love for like keeping up the fight and having the strength. Yeah, so it just popped into my head. I was going to read the tiger in the animal book straight up, because the tigers have been coming through heaps. Like, I was kind of spying in the clouds this morning, and I saw this kind of leaping tiger. And I've, you know, since just, you know, like on social media and stuff, just tigers. Even one of my tarot decks, like, yeah, is just this like tiger leaping. I've seen it several times today, and so there's a few different meanings of the tiger, but I didn't choose to read that one, because the tiger in this book is actually about cowardice, but the opposite of cowardice is the strength, is courage. Now, I'm not sure exactly, I didn't read it at all, because just the word cowardice like completely turned me off from reading it, because yeah, like, but I guess the meaning of it is like a tiger finds it, you know, its courage. A tiger has the courage. And shit, it's just like, it freaking just popped into my head about He-Man as well. And I've recently been thinking about that, like, because, and it always annoyed me when I was a kid watching that show, like why He-Man's tiger was like a sook. And then it took He-Man to give him the special like power, and he became the big brave cocky beast tiger thing. And I guess that's kind of like the two sides of the tiger, and you know, both sides are within us, and I guess it is that choice whether you know, by the power of Grayskull we embody ourselves with the courage, or we allow ourselves to stay stuck in the real sooky pussycat, not even pussycat, because it's just like totally a scaredy cat tiger, or go into beast mode and become the brave warrior, courageous spirit of the tiger. Yeah, so yeah, that was kind of all coming through today. I'll dice again for the I just caught my eye on the other eye of the tiger. I just caught my eye on the other two dice, which is 5 and 1. I'm just going to go 51. Let's see what comes up. We've got the oryx, which is known as the unicorn. Unicorns have been coming up heaps. I have been found one in it's one of these little kit things where you paint your own little animals. So yeah, I've got my own little golden unicorn now. And gold has been like really big as well. Gold. I just like let myself go nuts with this stuff as well, because I just love the synchronicities. So today I got myself some Goldie beer. I'm just going with it, right? I love it. I love all the synchronistic messages, and I kind of just allow myself to play with them, you know. Yeah. All right, so the oryx, which is like it's like an antelope type creatures. Oryx inhabits the steppe regions and deserts of the Arabian Peninsula and is currently classified as an endangered species. The unicorn's ancient origins as a heraldic creature announcing the changing of the seasons has seen it evolve many times from bull to goat to rhinoceros. One reason offered by historians for the unicorn's transition from goat to horse is apparently linked to several horse skulls found in an ancient Siberian burial mound, each adorned with an elaborate single leather horn attached by straps to the center of the forehead. It is believed that these horns were revered as potent symbols of masculine sexuality. Like men. He's the unicorn. Unicorn remains a symbol of purity, true intent, and spiritual insight, and with this as her gift to us is powerfully protective as she elevates one's ability to distinguish the noble from the dire in everything we do. The horn of the unicorn was said to be able to heal and neutralize poisons. Oryx streaming therefore represents hope and inspiration, one's exposed soul, no longer feeling the need to remain hidden behind a well-established disguise. She offers a beacon that draws to itself encouragement and faith, the ability to transform confusion into hope. Oryx promises that when you follow her lead, there will always be light ahead. She heralds a time of rebirth and hope during those moments when you know you are doing the right thing, even though it may not feel like it at the time. Oryx ensures that things will work out for the best. Beautiful. The other one on the same page is Springbok, which is contribution. Acknowledging the contributions we make and the support we offer friends. It is to recognize our worth as a resource to the people, as well as accepting the praise that we deserve from those who have benefited. To look to Springbok as a guide or totem is to acknowledge our role as a primary provider, main caregiver, or sole breadwinner for the family or clan. Springbok people usually do more than their fair share of chores, and generally with minimal expectation of others to contribute. Springbok encourages us to slow down, to savour the rewards of our hard work, and maybe approach others for assistance when we try to take on too much. Yeah, it's kind of reminding you to, like, if you overgive, like, boundaries, fair share, like, you don't need to take on everything. Although it is honourable to contribute to any family or community-based project, it is unbalanced to be the sole provider of goods or services when there are others who are capable of helping out. You know, like, sharing's caring, and I guess take a look to see if there's a healthy balance of giving and receiving, relaxation, play. And let's see if there's any crystals want to come up. 6, 3, 4, 4, 3. There's a card too. 34. Let's go 63, which is appetite. Got some appetite. I think I do. There's a beautiful, like, turquoisey green colour, the appetite. Appetite heals bones and encourages formation of new cells. Okay. Appetite has inspirational properties, the interface point between consciousness and matter. It is a stone of manifestation and promotes a humanitarian attitude, inclining towards service. Appetite is attuned to the future, yet connects to past lives. It develops psychic gifts and spiritual attunement, deepens meditation, raises the kundalini, and aids communication and self-expression on all levels. Psychologically, appetite increases motivation and builds up energy reserves. It induces openness and social ease, encouraging extroversion, dissolving aloofness and alienation. It draws off negativity about oneself and others. It is helpful for hyperactive and autistic children, stimulating creativity and intellect. Appetite clears confusion and helps to access information to be used personally and for the collective good. Appetite expands knowledge and truth and eases sorrow, apathy, and anger. It reduces irritability and overcomes emotional exhaustion by releasing energy in the base chakra. it clears frustration and endorses passion without guilt. All amazing things. So kind of again talking about service, community, you know, community spirit type thing on all levels. Should we leave it there? So the unicorn, yeah, it just popped into my head again. So I woke up this morning with once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. And then what else was it? Guardians of the Galaxy popped in. It was the storylines. It was the storylines of Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spaceballs, Fifth Element. It was just like, I was like, you know, and this is as soon as I woke up, and the movies and the storylines of all these movies were just like kind of and shit. Like I started watching Total Recall. I watched the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger not long ago, but I put the Colin Farrell one on last night, and shit, man, like the storylines of these movies, you line them all freaking up, and you know, it just blows my mind because I can see so much within the storylines of these movies. Avatar, the storylines within these movies have all got like a basis on reality, it seems, of our star family history. And the funny thing is that I think, you know, like the more I get into this stuff, the more obvious it is that these messages from them have like been soaking into us and coming into our media and our stories and everything just for forever, and it just constantly blows my mind. How can all the puzzle pieces are starting to sink in, and literally how this stuff has been coming through to us through our creative writers and movie makers, creative writing and storytelling, and oh my god, it's literally everywhere. All these stories have got kind of like a basis in, and you know, I think the entire thing is part of the process to lead us up to contact and learning more about our real reality. You know, we at this point, the majority of us still think that it's all fantasy based, but you know, all this stuff is what's going to actually has been preparing us for the truth to come out and everything. You know, but it is hard at the moment because at the moment we're stuck in this place where it still seems like movies. It still seems like fantasy, and we can't quite wrap our heads around it yet because you know, it's not in our full-on reality yet, but like it is so close, like, you know, that it is almost like that. It's like it's starting to mingle, and it's like worlds meshing, and we're gonna be like, all of a sudden wake up and we'll be like, oh shit, so yeah, so it's all real. I've been living in a freaking dream world for forever. And that's what it kind of feels like, we're stuck in the in-between. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, like the fairy tales, movies, all that. Anyway, I've got these Once Upon a Time cards, so I thought I would pull them out today. A long winter. Freaking Game of Thrones, winter is coming. That's the other thing that I was kind of getting as well. The internal alarm system, the internal being plugged into higher, your higher self and everything, to get, you know, the information direct and everything, like, so you can get messages, you know, you need. And I'm getting like the emergency broadcast signal, like, you know how when there's a big earthquake or even, or you know, like, you know, something big happening and all that, the animals just know. It's like they get their internal warning system goes off and they know when to go. But it's more than that. Like, I'm not saying there's going to be a massive thing and, you know, like, if you're woke you'll get a message. If you're not woke you're not going to get a message, and, you know, you've got more chance of survival if you're woke and receiving messages, yes. But it's not even that. It's like, it's the self-direction of what's best for you. You get information on all levels up to the point of an emergency broadcast signal. If something was going to happen, like, if you're tapped in, you would receive an emergency broadcast. You know, you would feel it. And you would your intuition, your self-guidance, your higher self would naturally, you would be listening to it and you would know, like, to go somewhere. And, you know, this could be as much as, don't get into the car today to go on the road because, you know, there could be an accident. Or, you know, and, you know, you just have this gut instinct that you don't want to go, so you don't. You never know if anything would have happened to you, don't, unless there's some major disaster they hear about. But anyway, I'm like getting carried away. But, you know, like, these are the and this, I'm getting this thing now that, like, the whole Atlantis thing, and I was getting this message that all the people back in Atlantis were given a ton, like, they were heavily warned and guided prior to things happening. That's what I was getting today. That's what I got. Like, the emergency broadcast signal was sent out back then. I don't know. I don't know what else is. Yeah, I don't know if there's any more to that. Anyway, once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a piece of the puzzle yet to be put in place. We got, once upon a time there was sweetness. Patience makes the fruit sweeter. Okay. Once upon a time there was individuality. Let your freak flag fly high. What is that? Oh, a big circus. Once upon a time there was imagination. It was your only limit. True that. Oh, it's the one like White Stag. Once upon a time there was discord. Choose peace and tolerance. It's the white dove of peace. Once upon a time there was blessings. Find gratitude in all you have. A white crow. Once upon a time there was a dragonfly. Good luck and your wishes granted now. Once upon a time there was wanderlust. Find joy in new places. Carriage. Once upon a time there was a portal. Go bravely into the unknown. Sacred spring. Wisdom. Aphrodite's well. It's well told. Holds a spell. What is that spell? Beetlejuice. Say it 3 times and it will appear. A wishing well. Alright, what should we grab next? Animal spirit. Okay, the healing waters. Got another one. The healing waters. Where is it? Be there somewhere. It's a water temple oracle deck. Since Aphrodite poked her head up, I'll just see what this one has to say. Aphrodite, Hermes, the Hermaphrodite. The joining and the union, reunion of your masculine, feminine. Sacred, sacred. Freaking power and peace that it will bring when we all join forces, masculine, feminine. We've got Varanasi, endings. I embrace the infinite flow of life. Red Tara, revolution. I'm a fierce warrior of love. I am. So we've got endings 14 and 41. 1441, 1441. Endings and new beginnings. Here, the eagle, the red. We're going to get another one. Yep. Birthplace of Aphrodite, emergence. My divine flow arouses creativity. It certainly does. She's and she's surfing the wave there. Impure boy. In grace. I was just before I started the video, I was like thinking about grace, because what came into my head was like the fall from grace. And then I was like, well, I've been recently talking about the graces, you know, that empowerment of the feminine, you know, the swan. It's the it's like a guy has swag, the feminine has grace. It's beauty, empowerment, like the awakened feminine, the divine feminine is like grace. And then, you know, the saying fall from grace came into my head, and then saying grace, and like, I mean, all these sayings and the meanings of them and where they came from. And you know, when I thought of fall from grace, I thought of the fall of Atlantis, and I thought of the fall of the feminine, like we lost touch with the feminine, because, you know, I was thinking grace is the feminine, and then saying grace, like, I mean, I just start to wonder where all the reasons why these things, you know, the sayings and everything came into being. You know, I mean, these are like how the messages that I get, and the kind of internal higher self conversations that I kind of am having through metaphor and sayings and song lyrics, and you know, like, it's certainly not a freaking straightforward conversation. It is interpretation of signs and symbols, and kind of almost having a symbolic conversation within my head. But anyway, I thought I would bring that up because there's so much about the feminine at the moment, and you know, we all have to heal that fall from grace and what happened because of it. What happened to Grace? Grace was fucked over majorly, and we now all need to bring our grace back, and that includes the masculine. And I think it's all kind of connected, energetic, vibe-wise, with the whole Atlantis thing. Because, you know, what some of the stuff that I've recently read is that it got fucked up in Atlantis morally, and it kind of also made me think of Pompeii getting fucked up, and Rome, because I think like the fall of Rome, all amazingly forward of their times, places which ended up all going to shit because they became very prosperous and abundant. But then at a certain point of abundance, the moral code went out the window enough that the entire kind of vibe of the place went to the pigs, if you know what I mean. And maybe I think we're kind of receiving all these messages now because, you know, we've kind of done the same thing. And even as just a slight message and reminder within ourselves, as you can be a highly enlightened civilization and connected and abundant, like, you know, but if I don't know what, like, it is very easy for the balance to just topple over to the other side and it become a toxic environment, you know. And this, it brings up this is one of the kind of metaphorical conversations I have had within myself of this kind of balance is, you know, like bacteria, you know, like in your gut health, right? Like the right environment, the right conditions, if you're doing all the right things, you've got a healthy bacteria balance in the body. A couple of things change, and if that balance just tips over to a certain point, you have a freaking breakout, you know, like thrush, for example, candida. Like, you know, you can feel perfectly fine and everything, but just once there is this fine balance, and then all of a sudden you've got a freaking infection going on type situation, like the growth of the bad bacteria just goes and they kind of you know, I've had that metaphor, you know, hanging around, that, you know, like, it's a good metaphor for how fragile this kind of balance is within our own bodies, within society, you know, and you know, you've got to be always mindful of that health, of, you know, the inner health, because once you cross a boundary, once you cross that delicate health balance, the bad bacteria are just kind of, it's like a algae growth type thing, and algae is another freaking good metaphor for it. Like, it's the environmental conditions, and, you know, maybe humans is an example of this. Like, we've kind of bloomed, but if the environmental conditions changed, it would be a different story. And, you know, are we the good bacteria or are we the bad bacteria? And yeah, so, you know, yeah, where else was I going with that one? Oh yeah, so bacteria was also, like, the metaphor started when I first had my big breakthrough as the conditions within the body in order to get the right balance within you. It is like trying to overcome the bad bacteria in your body. For example, in order to become awakened, like to have a balanced mind, it is like we've had a negative bacteria break out within our soul, within our energy bodies, and it's just kind of went to this negative mindset type thing, right? And it is like that kind of fight, good versus bad, like, and this is what it's like, you know, heaven, hell, like the devil, the angel on your shoulder, good bacteria, bad bacteria, and it's like this constant war to get the balance right. And if you're you know, not right, it's got to be, you've got to find the balance. And you know, when you're trying to overcome all your negative self-talk and your recurring patterns and like the self-sabotage, all that shit that you have to break away from in order to become more mentally and spiritually balanced and happy, a balanced human being, like in the sweet spot, and you're in the Goldilocks zone. Goldilocks and 3 beds. Fuck, you guys, how you put this together? So your energy, your beingness, your soul has been fighting to get into the Goldilocks zone of the mental Goldilocks zone, a balanced mindset and beingness and energy. Yeah, shit. Sorry, I'm kind of just blown away how they put all this, like how it all comes out. Anyway, yeah, you know, like this earth is in the Goldilocks zone, you know, and we're all struggling to get into our own Goldilocks zone. And this is what it is. Energetically, quantum, you connect with the Goldilocks zone, and the bears, the big teddy bears, the just right. If you find your Goldilocks zone, whatever that looks like, the balance, the just right for you, you find that within you, and it is like what Goldilocks goes through is like, you know, too hot, too cold. This one's just right. Too hard, too soft. This one's just right. You know, that is like the getting the bacteria balance within your body, right? And you know, as a metaphor, it's the work-life balance. It's the, you know, loving what you're doing and giving, receiving. It's like every single balance, like as you're finding your way into that balance center, that is like you balancing your bacteria, you know, for example, in your gut. And that's what it feels like when when you get there. You know, like it's like you've had a yeast infection your entire life, and then you don't anymore. And that's what it's like not having to deal with the devil on your shoulder, you know, the bad bacteria constantly, the war going on inside your head of telling you, you know, the judgment, the criticizing, not knowing what you want to do, or like, you know, like the negative self-talk and the anger, you know, or depression. It's just coming into your internal balance and being centered in Goldilocks zone. And that's what I was also going to get. What just came through is that, energetically speaking, the Goldilocks zone is the connection. Energetically speaking, fucking hell, the Goldilocks zone, energetically speaking, is the same dimension of frequency as everything else that's on their Goldilocks zone, because Goldilocks has a frequency. So if you're in your Goldilocks zone, you're connected to all the other Goldilocks zones. You're on the just right. You're on the just right wavelength. You know, Wi-Fi signal. You're at the Goldilocks sweet spot Wi-Fi signal. You've just received the password. Feeling that is the password. So earth, nature, animals are naturally tapped into the Goldilocks zone, and anyone up there, any other being that has reached their own personal Goldilocks zone is on that wavelength. That's what I believe, like quantumish kind of interdimensional, like communication, vibing on the same level. When you vibe on the same level, you feel it. And I think that's what it's all kind of like about. They're all trying to just help us get to our sweet spot within ourselves. It is all about what your sweet spot is. What is just right for you. And that's it. I that's what it feels like to me anyway. Yeah. It's another metaphor anyway. Hidden worlds. Another water. Temple of Anuket, thrive. I see golden opportunities. Aren't they beautiful? Oh gosh. Goddess Ganga, purification. I surrender to the river of love. Love is golden, I think. Lady of the Lake, intention. I conjure magic. Oh, Aphrodite and Aries, lovers. I follow my heart. Alright, we're going to get some from the Hidden Worlds one. And I got a Rumi oracle. The meditation, peace, relief, sanctuary. The mother awakens, compassion, nurture, guidance. And the waterfalls coming through, and the water. I'm getting like womb medicine coming through, which is, what is it? Rebirth, birthing yourself, or the cycles of building and releasing. The mirror, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. Homeward traveller, completion, reunion, return. The Goldilocks. The 3 bears. Homeward traveller. What are we getting at? Past lives, reunion, soul reunion, being reunited with your true self, all your bits, being connected to all your bits. Yeah, like, I guess that's what it's kind of like as well when you go to your Goldilocks zone, your sweet spot. Maybe it's like, you know, definitely that's when you connect with your higher self. And at that point, you're connected to like all your other past lives, maybe, that are, you know, of the Goldilocks zone, maybe. So if you're like a higher self has a group of souls, I don't know exactly how it works, but if your higher self is like literally at the top of like all the lives that you will ever have ever had, will ever have, you know, like it's like everything's happening at once. It's like if they're tapped in, if they've gone sweet spot and tapped into the higher self, if you go sweet spot and tap into your higher self, you can tap into them because the link's connected. Another way to look at it, I don't know. She who flows, ease, being open to change, go with the flow of life. Relationships coming together. Current dreams, future realities, new beginnings. The sirens, use your voice, expansion, freedom. The rainbow, sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. Okay, time travelers. See what the time travelers have to say. Focus 15, Shaolin Temple, China. Training. What's this one? Abundance. The hanging gardens of Babylon. Oh, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down. I tell you what, I've bawled my eyes out to that song many a time. It does something to me. Freaking Boney M. They got some lyrics. Reflection, Mount Shasta's moon, California. So we got mirror, reflection, focus, abundance, a lot of water stuff, which is like very about like dimensional, isn't it? Reflection, light, water, the stones, the energy. It's like communication, the Oracle of Delphi. Crystal ball. Look, she's got one golden ball and one crystal ball in her hand. All those rocks around the granite freaking outcrops, I swear to God. At this point, like at the moment, it's like I almost need a dose of my granite outcrops every day now. They help insanely, like so much, to ground me and release all tension. Like shit, I just go searching for more and more granite outcrops. Just being around them, my mind's open and I'm connected. Go find some granite outcrops if you're feeling low in any way, and just let them like embrace you. That's what I feel. I could swim in them. I want to swim. I want to freaking swim in the granite. Like that's how much like their energy is just like oozing into me at the moment. It's beautiful. And we've got growth, the Amazon rainforest, another waterfall. The rain's coming. Is it truth? Cherokee talking stick tradition. Yeah, like high tide, banks breaking, flooding, freaking waves. There's been a lot about water cleansing. I mean, there's so much has been coming up. Like even like ships in the water. I don't know. Another power card, dinosaurs in the Jurassic period. I was just literally about to say like you know, freaking asteroid hitting the earth, you know, like causing a thing, because I was watching the show on Netflix about the earth, and you know how it was Morgan Freeman, you know, narrating it, like, and you know, it showed how the dinosaurs got wiped out from the asteroid. And all the different periods of time over the Earth's existence of when it like pretty much started again. Yeah, and like I'm just gonna have to say it. Hey, like even the other day I don't know, like sometimes I'm just drawn to look up stuff, right, and Google it. And I ended up looking at this asteroid that is out there, and they actually landed on it. Like we actually sent I don't know if it was people, like unmanned probably, but they actually sent a thing to land on this asteroid. And they did it. Like, I've never even heard that. I've seen it in movies. But anyway, so it kind of freaked me out a bit, to be honest, because it's a massive fucking asteroid, and it's got like freaking two knobs on it. It's like a big thing and then like a knob, and it's like got this neck, and it's just like, I'm like, yeah, alright, so they're saying it's like not coming near us anytime soon, but like what if that freaking, I mean, it's losing parts of itself constantly. What happens when the freaking head comes off? What then? What if something else hits into it? Because it is literally like going through all the planets. And I'm like, how's it not freaking hitting something? And obviously it's a pretty, I mean, we've actually made the effort to go land on it. So it's obviously a thing, right? Anyway, I'm like, what the frick? Like, I'm being drawn to like look that up, and it just, yeah, it had me worrying a little bit, hey, with all this other stuff kind of going on at the moment. And maybe it's just goes to show how sweet spot zoned we are, and that sweet spot, one little thing from a rock movement far out in space can, you know, end it all tomorrow. And I think we've had it pretty sweet for a while, like environmentally, you know, because we've had it sweet environmentally for a while, we've lost the sweetness within ourselves. And you know, like, maybe if you just realize how lucky we are and how lucky we've been for a really long time, maybe, you know, we'd treat our situation a little bit sweeter, we'd treat ourselves sweeter, like we'd be more aware of our sweet spot, not take it for granted. Like a lot of the stories, you know, you hear from our star family, from these movies of you know, these planets and civilizations being destroyed, you know, entire planets being destroyed, you know. Like, it's said that a lot of us star seeds are, have some big wounds from our, you know, planets being destroyed, taken over, you know, destroyed. And yeah, and you know, like, we're really lucky to have a Goldilocks planet. It's a little bit of a downer, but you know, at the same time, it's really important to open up your heart and mind and understand where you come from, where we come from, where we are, where we're going. Will we have a chance to continue going? And you know, what are you going to do with your life in the meantime? Like, and that is like next level gratitude for your existence. Yeah. That's, you know, that's like Horus eyesight, not just the hawk eyesight. That's like Horus eyesight. You know what I mean? And, you know, having the bird's eye view, it's a Thoth bird's eye view, it's a Horus bird's eye view, it's a Ra bird's eye view. A dragon heart's eye view, a dragon's eye view. You know what I mean? Like, you can, I mean, you can bury your head in the sand and be an ostrich. And be the scaredy cat, He-Man tiger. And it just reminds me of like that on the freaking show I was watching with the Earth and the Morgan Freeman narrating it, because he's just like, you know, survival of the fittest. And, you know, would you consider yourself the fittest? Like, do you feel truly worthy of the blessing of being in a Goldilocks zone? Are you repaying that Goldilocks energy that you are in? Are you repaying that by becoming Goldilocks yourself? This is what I was thinking about today as well, as like, what I was thinking, kind of like, what, this is when I was at the top of the mountain, when I was, you know, having conversation with my higher self, and, you know, things popping into my head, and it was like what is love, and what do you become, what does love help you become type. It was kind of like that, because I was fully in love with the earth and the rocks. I was in a space of full gratitude and love and communion with the earth when I was up there, and myself. Like I was giving, like I was saying before, I was giving myself a lot of thanks. I was feeling really grateful for getting to that place where I can feel that for the earth. I can feel so thankful for being alive, no matter what happens, being that connected and that grateful to be a part of it, just to be a part of it, of life, of that beauty that I was seeing, to be communing with it. And the thing came in to my head, it was like I guess it was kind of saying like, how did you get here? And it came from love. And then the question was kind of like, what does love help you become? Like, what are you when you are in love? Like, I don't even know if that's not quite the right question, or whatever, but it's like the power of wanting to be deserving of the love that you've always wanted type thing, because I was thinking of how I got to where I am, was because I've always wanted a beautiful divine love. And when I got a taste of that, when I saw it in another person's eyes, when I felt it within myself, when I saw it mirrored in another person or whatever, the power of that love, that it is real, like feeling that I couldn't not want to be, I just had to be. Everything that I could be for that, to match that. I had to know with every ounce of my being that I was that. I had to prove to myself that I am love, that I am worthy of that love, that I can give that love as much as it gives me. And that's what love does in every form of love that there is. Like, and I'm talking like, healthy love, like every relationship love. To give as you receive. The balance. To find the balance within that love. And when you feel like, God, I don't know where this is going now, but it's like, it just has the power to make you want to, it has the power for you to overcome all fears. You know what I was doing when I had this thought was, I don't like spiders or spider webs at all. Like, I freak out, and I constantly feel like an idiot in the bush. Like, I'm waving a stick around constantly as I'm walking through the bush because I hate getting spiders. I don't like spiders. Anyway, I was literally just shoving my hand through a spider web because I was getting these little things that I've been collecting in the bush. My little resin balls, hard yakka, by the way. Yakka, it's called. Golden balls, actually. It's a golden, I think yakka means golden, golden something, anyway. Yeah, so I was reaching for my golden balls in the under the bush, and just shoving my hand through a spider's web because I was like hunting. I was like, I wanted those balls enough to not care about a spider's web. I and that is what, like, when you want something, when you've got dedication, when you are in your freaking creative zone, when you want something enough, all your fears go away. You have a courage. You have the courage to deal with the spider webs and dirt and shit that is covered in them. To get your golden balls, to get your treasure, which is, love. which is to feel love for yourself, to feel worthy of every, to feel worthy of life, to feel worthy of love, to feel worthy of your freaking higher self. Like that gives you, I mean, that's by the power of Grayscale. Like, that is your sheer power, like love and desire and commitment to going after something. That makes men climb mountains, that makes men cross countries, that makes people freaking swim the English Channel. Like to have that, to have a goal and desire, and to feel like if that's what you want to do, you will do whatever it takes to be worthy of that. I don't know, I kind of probably got a little bit off sidetrack there, but I mean, with me, when I was thinking about it today, it was like, feeling that love just made me so much braver. The courage to go after what I wanted, to become the person I wanted to be, to have the love that I wanted to have, to be that person, to have it all. That's what love did for me. And love for my daughter did the same thing. Like, having a child and loving a child is, that love does the exact same thing. It gives you the strength to just keep fucking pushing through, and to be a good role model, and to learn more, and to just be a better person. Like that level of love you have for that child makes you love yourself more. And it's just kind of like never ending. And like, I feel that for Earth, I feel that for my environment, I feel that for my pets, I feel that for what I do and what I create. And that gives me the courage to keep going and to keep becoming. And because it's never ending, because there's always more. It's infinite. It's infinite. And that's why, like, courage and creation and love is infinite. Going off tangent. Anyways, I'll get a Rumi card just to finish off with some nice bit of poetry from man. He knew what he was talking about as well. He knew what he was talking about. Merciful Mother Jamal and Layla, you who show the way. You who show the way. The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. So it's like what I was kind of saying, right? The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. I have looked at you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected and interminable blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as my guiding light. Nay, I am the sea, rising up to the horizon because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hallowed golden light all around you, this great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates, your light reveals truth, and through your living presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I am returning after being lost in darkness, as though I could ever be extinguished, I am divine light. I am you, a living sun. Love does amazing things. Makes a poet out of you. Should we do that one as well? I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. But I think it was a good finish. Alright, we'll get one. Just one. What are they? The fortune cookie cards. The lover and the beloved. Crazy in love. Sacred phoenix heart. Hopefully we get some good fortune with these fortune cookies. It is the year of the snake. Signs. Your future positive direction will reveal itself. Any doubts and confusions will soon disappear. Major life change. Time is right for major life changes, as a new life cycle or location brings great joy and a trouble-free existence. For you, shuffle. Trouble-free existence. Sounds good, huh? Save it for our cookies. Reflection again. Friendships in your life may come to an end. Others could blossom and become stronger. It's like 3 reflection cards and then a mirror or something. We'll leave that one. Jealousy. Perseverance. You may feel like you're getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. Big on change as well, clearly. Love on the bottom. Love is in the air. A great time for commitment and taking a relationship to the next level. Amen to that, men. Okay. I better go to bed.